Our top focus this evening, Ram Jethmalani has lashed out at former Delhi Police Chief Neeraj Kumar over his claim that he spoke to underworld don Dawood Ibrahim in 1994. The veteran lawyer alleged that Kumar was trying to implicate other CBI officials. Jethmalani said that he had himself mentioned Dawood's surrender offer in his book. Dawood is the mastermind of the 1993 Mumbai serial blast, which claimed more than 350 lives.
This is written in my own book long ago, more than 10-12 years ago. It's there in that. It's a true statement. It's a true statement, but he is trying to implicate CBI, other CBI officers. It is the politicians who refuse this. Please don't. Now that I am supporting this particular statement of Neeraj Kumar, and don't create the impression that I am an admirer of Neeraj Kumar.
Let's get a word from Pankaj Khelkar, who's with us on the phone line. Pankaj, Ram Jethmalani is basically saying that what Neeraj Kumar said, that statement that Neeraj Kumar issued saying that Dawood Ibrahim had contacted him about 3 times in 1994 and that he was willing to surrender is in fact correct. But Jethmalani says it wasn't the CBI but the political leadership which did not want Dawood to surrender.
Yes, Ram Jethmalani clearly said that it were the politicians who did not want Dawood Ibrahim, the wanted accused of 1993.
Pankaj, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Hold that thought. We have Mr. Ram Jethmalani on the phone line with us. Mr. Jethmalani, thanks so much for speaking to Headlines today. Mr. Jethmalani, are you saying that it's correct that Dawood Ibrahim did want to surrender in 1994? Mr. Jethmalani, can you hear me? We'll try and reconnect with Ram Jethmalani, who's now come out and said that he's already mentioned in his book about 12 years ago that Dawood Ibrahim did want to surrender 15 months after those deadly Mumbai blasts. But according to Ram Jethmalani, it was the political leadership which did not want the CBI to go ahead with this deal. Of course, Neeraj Kumar, the former chief of the Delhi police, somebody who's also heading the CBI probe into the 1993 Mumbai blast, has come out and issued a statement saying that other CBI officials asked him to go slow and to cut down on these conversations that he was having with Dawood Ibrahim. Of course, there's been a U-turn since then after the then CBI director came on record saying that he had nothing to do with this. Pankaj Khelkar, our correspondent, is with us on the phone line. Pankaj, lots of twists and turns, lots of contradictory statements coming in.
Yeah, right. The former Law Minister and Rajya Sabha member Ram Jethmalani has clearly said that he had already mentioned in long back that Dawood Ibrahim had contacted him, and now that Neeraj Kumar saying or taking this stance is only a gimmick, like he is going to release his book, and before releasing he has issued such a statement. Although Ram Jethmalani said that the statement what Neeraj Kumar has given is correct, but he doesn't support. Neeraj Kumar is the filthiest officer CBI has produced. That's what Ram Jethmalani ji is saying. So on one side he is saying that the statement is correct, but on the other side he is saying that this is a stunt by Neeraj Kumar. And one more thing, what he is saying that there are more doubts in the country than the Dawood Ibrahim, the prime accused of 1993 blast, who is hiding in Pakistan.
All right, so Pankaj, essentially what Ram Jethmalani is saying is that the political leadership of the country is to be blamed for India not clinching that deal, not getting for failing to have Dawood surrender at that time.
Yeah, what he is saying that the political leaders are to be blamed. Neeraj Kumar, whatever he is saying, he is trying to implicate CBI officers. That time when Dawood had contacted him, the politicians were the one who had objected. They did not wanted him to surrender. And now that Neeraj Kumar is saying that the CBI, his senior officials told him like they were against his surrender. So this way he is blaming the political like the political leaders in the country for not letting Dawood Ibrahim to surrender.
Pankaj Kelkar, thanks so much for that update. Now, former Delhi Police Commissioner Neeraj Kumar on Saturday denied reports which quoted him saying that 1993 Mumbai serial blast mastermind Dawood Ibrahim was willing to surrender 15 months after the blast, but the CBI refused his offer. According to an English daily, Dawood spoke to Neeraj Kumar 3 times in June 1994, but the CBI allegedly declined his offer. Dawood Ibrahim is the prime accused in the serial blast that claimed more than 300 lives. Neeraj Kumar reportedly told the paper, where he was quoted as saying, "I spoke to a jittery Dawood 3 times in June 1994. He seemed to be toying with the idea of surrendering, but had one worry. His rival gangs could finish him off if he returned to India. I told him his safety would be the responsibility of the CBI. Dawood was edgy and said he had no role in the blasts," unquote. Neeraj Kumar was leading the CBI probe into the 13 blasts that rocked India's financial capital on the 12th of March 1993. Kumar further stated that after granting him permission to talk to Dawood, his seniors abruptly told him to put an end to those phone calls. Considered to be an expert on the underworld, Neeraj Kumar is writing about the top 10 investigations of his career with the Indian Police Service. And our editor South TS Sudhir spoke to former CBI Director KV Rama Rao, who was heading the probe agency at the time, and he said that Neeraj Kumar was not speaking the truth.
The revelations that Neeraj Kumar has made are obviously very, very serious, and obviously as the person who was heading CBI at that time, K. Vijay Rama Rao, would obviously know. Mr. Vijay Rama Rao, Neeraj Kumar, who was DIG under you when you were heading CBI, says that 3 times he spoke to Dawood Ibrahim, the most wanted terrorist in India then and now. He offered to surrender, but then the seniors did not want that to happen. Why was the centre, whether the CBI or the government of the day headed by Mr. P. Narasimha Rao, reluctant to have Dawood Ibrahim surrender?
There was no reluctance to get at Dawood Ibrahim by anybody, for that matter. As long as I was there for 3 years, and we have handled that case most of the time, and we have arrested many people, even in other countries.
Were you aware of this offer to surrender by Dawood Ibrahim?
I was not aware, and I was not told by anybody. I was not told that Dawood is prepared to surrender.